Hello, I want to talk to you today about something that most Americans don't know very much about. And this is really sad because um, uh, this is our American heritage. What I'm talking to you about today is the American credit system. I started talking about it in the last video, but this is a continuation. Explains it in more full detail. And I would like to explain more specifically the differences between the system that we're under today, which is the system of the British Empire, their monetary system, versus the American system, the system that Alexander Hamilton set up after we won the Revolutionary War. And so, to start with, I want to emphasize that the American system that our founders set up was established under the principle of the general welfare. And so that is specifically what the intent was behind the credit system, was to promote the general welfare of the people. And so this can't be emphasized enough. And so I want to explain further by explaining that the American credit system is an economic system which bases its value on the creativity of the human being, and thereby developing the infrastructure and developing scientific progress. And in this way, it increases the standard of living for the population. Through this progress, this increased understanding and development of the infrastructure. So, in contrast to this is the system of the British Empire. Their monetary system is found in locating a source of wealth in natural resources and gaining control over this. Um, and the British, under the British system, they consider that money in itself has inherent value. Thereby, you see things like gold being used as money. Often we've seen that, and precious metals. And in this way, the British Empire um, produce they gather wealth through amassing the resources, the natural resources throughout the world, and exploiting the populations, getting the populations to extract these natural resources for slave labor, employing them for slave labor. But the American system is a system that promotes the productivity of people. It promotes the people and puts value on the people and the creativity of the people, rather than putting value on the money. And so anybody wants to promote the idea that we need to go to a gold to use gold to trade for money instead of the dollar, they are actually promoting a foreign system, the system of the British Empire, a system which is used to exploit people, a system whereby value is not found in human life. It's not found in the development of human life. It's found in things. And human life takes second place to these things like gold. Um, so people who think that it is wise to put value in money, in gold, and think that silver and gold should be used as a system, they're actually advocating a system whereby people are not valued and things are valued. So that's a really good way to characterize the difference between the monetary system of the British Empire or the monetary system of empire versus the monetary system of the American credit system. I mean, the money system of the American credit system. It's a completely opposite view of money, and there's a lot of confusion about this today, and a lot of Americans are really, in their mixed up ideas about it. They don't realize it, but they are actually promoting the same kind of system that the British Empire uses to exploit the people in the world when they think that uh, gold and silver should be used as a means of exchange. So, so let me explain. In the American system, the way you create wealth in a nation is by harnessing nature in such a way that benefits man. And the way you do this is through scientific discovery. Man has the ability to affect nature through his ideas and intentions and his understanding of natural law. He implements changes through his discoveries and employs them to affect change that creates a higher standard of living for the population. The way of making discoveries is usually done in something that is already happening in nature, but man discovers why it is happening. Then he introduces a change in nature by implementing the use of the principle discovered. This is creativity. And so, under the American system, creativity is where the value is. Developing the creativity of the human mind. Because it is through this development of the creativity that we are able to employ scientific progress upon the nation and develop infrastructure, develop industry, and develop better forms of agriculture, higher productivity levels in all sectors. So, and this is the way of generating wealth under the American system. Let's see. It is a system that creates progress, and it is a system that is ever looking forward to the progress and the idea of making tomorrow a better place, better conditions for tomorrow than what we have today. It is thereby it is a system whereby it promotes the benefit not only of the population, the general population of today, but the population of tomorrow. This is what is meant by the general welfare principle. So, anyway, the American system puts a lot of value on the human life and the sanctity of human life, whereas the British system devalues human life and it degenerates. It's a system of degeneration because it's a system of whereby a few people at the top they amass wealth or benefit through the expense of the exploitation of the mass of people. And it is not a wealth producing system for everyone. And it is not a system that promotes progress and the development of the infrastructure. So the British system, or the system of empire, which is the system we are under today, is a system that is a degenerate system. It is a parasitical system that it eventually will fall apart. And we see this happening today because we are under the system of the British Empire, their monetary system. And so we are witnessing today the effects of what their system produces. It produces a society, a culture of degeneration, just an economy of degeneration. We see that today our economy is getting worse and worse, whereas we see a few people at the top getting wealthier and wealthier. This is the system of the British Empire, and it is being played out here in the United States through Wall Street. And they are using Wall Street to loot the American population, to manipulate the money, and they don't care about what it does to the people, what it does to the economy. All they care about is their money, amassing money for themselves. So this the system that the American founders is something that is really our American tradition, the system that Alexander Hamilton set up, and Americans need to come to a better understanding of it, to come to an understanding of it, because if they don't, if they don't get out, if we don't get out from under this British system that is controlled by Wall Street, then this nation is going to continue to go the direction it's going. It's going to be like Detroit. It's going to fall apart. So the founding fathers designed the American system in a way that would defend Americans from the tyranny of the British monetary system. They designed it so that Americans would have control over their money. Right now, the British Empire has control over our money through, as I said, Wall Street and also the Federal Reserve. This was accomplished through the takedown of the National Bank, which Alexander Hamilton set up, which is required. It is required to have a national bank in order for the country to have control over its own money. The only way a country can maintain its sovereignty is to have control over its money. And in order to do that, it needs a national bank where the government has the control over the money and not some foreign entity like Wall Street. And the Federal Reserve and Wall Street are controlled by the British Empire, which is, when I say the British Empire, I mean it is financiers that are using certain international banks to loot the populations of the world. And I'm not talking about the general population in Britain. I'm talking about this banker elite system, and it is headquartered in London right now, and so that's why I call it the British Empire. So our founding fathers fought the Revolutionary War to break free from this system, this monetary system of the British Empire. And now we are again out under the tyranny of their system. And in order to, we need another revolution to get out from under this tyranny, or to get out from under the control of the British Empire. So In order to do this, we need to set up a national bank, and we need to kick Wall Street out. We need to implement Glass-Steagall, which would take Wall Street down, which would take down the power of the British Empire. They would no longer have control over the American system, the American money of our nation. And we need to get back under the system that our founding fathers set up, which is the American credit system. We need to instate Glass-Steagall. We need to instate a national bank, and we need to focus our attention on building the infrastructure with big, huge projects. Like there's a project that Kennedy was going to, he was in the process of implementing. It was a system whereby it would provide provide water for the western half of the United States, which is largely desert, and which would lead to the higher productivity of this section of our country. And if he had not been assassinated, we would have this project in place right now. We would have higher productivity in our nation. That would be the result of it. There's other people that used the system set up by Alexander Hamilton. Abraham Lincoln, it was his greenback system, which was the same basic idea. And he had an advisor who understood the system very well. His name was Henry Carey. And I want to read quote something that he said that explains where he described the two different systems, the difference between the American system and the system of the British Empire. He said, "Two systems are before the world. One looks to underworking the Hindu and sinking the rest of the world to his level. The other to raising the standard of man to our level. One looks to pauperism, ignorance, depopulation, and barbarism. The other to increasing wealth, comfort, intelligence, and civilization. One looks to universal war, the other to universal peace. One is the English system, the other we may be proud to call the American system, for it is the only one ever devised, to the tendency of which is that of elevating while equalizing the condition of man throughout the world. Such is the true mission of these people of these United States. To them is granted the privilege to raise the value of labor throughout the world. To do so, we need only to raise the value of our own."